Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and this is my first out of the theater, sitting in my car review. I just got done seeing 28 Years Later, and it sucked. I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything, but I watched last night and this morning the first two, 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. I love both of those films. Overall, pretty much, I've liked everything that Danny Boyle has done. I've liked pretty much everything that Alex Garland has done. And this was just fucking awful. It's so boring. I don't understand how anybody could think that this was a good idea. This is one of those things that it's probably going to make money its opening weekend, because we were all excited to have, a third film, and then I think it's going to bomb. It's just going to tank. The numbers are going to go way down because word of mouth is going to be, this is boring as hell. When the movie ended, people just got up and left. There was no reaction to the film at all. The trailers were better. I'm looking forward to the remake of I Know What You Did, or requel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm hoping it's better than this. Megan 2.0 opens up also in a week. Is that going to be any good? Man, this just sucked. It was boring and boring and boring, and it's like Cameo by Rage Zombies. It is talk and talk and talk and thick accents, and I just... and of course, this is part of a trilogy, and I will say this, expect this, there is no ending. It doesn't end. It just stops. And so now I guess we have to wait for part 2, and that's going to be from the director of The Marvels. So, but she did do a good job on, the remake, requel of Candyman, which I really enjoyed. But this was just... everything was just so bad. I knew this was going to be weird from the trailer, but the trailer was done right. It made me look forward to it. I was excited because it looked a little different. My God, I hated George A. Romero's Survival of the Dead. I really think that's one of the worst zombie films ever made. I really wish that he would have just stuck with the original trilogy, or maybe, okay, fine, do Land of the Dead. All right, okay, you want to experiment and do a found footage thing, Diary of the Dead, stop there. But instead he had to do Survival of the Dead. And to me, this is Survival of the Dead. This is pretty much like somebody saw Survival of the Dead and said, wow, this would make a good 28 days film. A 28, months later film, a 28 years later, whatever they were thinking of at the time. And they just said, let's just, we'll just kind of take it, and we'll make that, because that's all I thought of during this was, my God, this reminds me so much of Survival of the Dead. I just hated this movie. It is so far the worst film I've seen this year. I haven't seen a ton, but man, does this make me want to not go to the theaters to see movies and just wait till streaming. Just do one of those, high seas ways of seeing these things, because they suck so much these days. And, God, it was awful. Everything from beginning to end was just awful. All I wanted was a, 28 something days later type of thing. And just, I didn't get it. I don't think anybody's going to get it. It's just awful. I can't say that enough. It was just awful. I was messaging OGP, and I didn't realize that he was actually watching the movie yet. And he texted me back going, I'm 40 minutes into this. It's not what I thought it was going to be. And I kind of went, uh-oh. And then I did see like whatever the newest trailer is for this. And I kind of went, uh-oh. So I did not know how much I was going to hate this movie. And it's... I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. The acting's fine. I hated the editing. But then, of course, as I'm sure that's probably Danny Boyle, just quick cuts a lot of the times, throwing in a bunch of pictures and footage from old movies, and I don't know what any of this stuff is supposed to mean in the movie. I just want to see rage zombies and soldiers shooting them and people escaping. Maybe throw in a flamethrower like they did in the last movie. I would be happy. But no, man, no. OGP and I are going to be discussing this on his podcast, the Horror Movie Monday. So if you want, check, we'll be discussing both of the original movies, Days and Weeks, and then we'll be discussing this abortion. I almost feel like I got Joker 2'd here, like Danny Boyle and Alex Garland said, well, they've wanted a part 3 for a long time now. Let's just give them a Joker 2 type movie. We just wrote it out of our ass and didn't give a shit. I can't believe that they sat down and wrote this and went, yes, this is what the audience wants. This is it. Let's do this. And no. There's a couple good kills. There's a couple good location pieces, and I don't mean the action within. I mean the location things that are there. The if it's an old building or an old bridge or something like that, like a gas station that's all messed up. I love stuff like that. I've always loved things like that in these types of movies, even in post-apocalyptic type of movies. I love seeing old stuff, and especially if it's stuff that we can relate to. So I liked that. I liked them going to these old locations, and so some of the location stuff was okay. And some of the kills were okay. There's a particular zombie in this who I honestly thought was Jason Momoa, and I thought maybe he had an uncredited cameo, but I'm guessing not. The music was okay. It's not, who does it? Alex Murphy does the music, I think, in the first 2 movies. I think that's his name, or that's just the name of RoboCop. But I think that's right. I could be wrong. Something Murphy. But God, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm like I said, I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything on this. It's just I can't even say it's weird that I didn't like it, because it's weird. I was hoping for weird. I wanted weird. I wanted different. Not this different. No. There's a line, and unfortunately, this crossed it. So, and don't worry, there's no, mid or post-credit sequence or anything that would tie into the next movie, which I heard they've already shot. So that's done, and which I think is next year, and then in 2027, I guess we have part 3. We don't know who's making that one, but yeah, it's for my first out of the theater in my car review that I've seen a lot of people do. Man, was this not the right movie to do it? I wish I did it with Ballerina, and which I loved and saw at the same theater, but And just since that is not doing well, it's tanking. I've said before where even if I don't like something, I want to see it do well, because then I hope that we get more of those types of movies. I kind of take that back for this. I don't want, if this is what this franchise is going for, I don't think I want to see another one. I really don't. It's going to take a lot for me to see part 2. I may have to wait on that and find out if like what the reviews are like, and I'll wait and see some of the reactions, and because the trailer for this, for 28 years later, was great, but the movie just sucked. I'm sorry. I think I'm done with this. Sorry, guys and gals. It wasn't good.